You may have seen an editorial column Saturday in the Oklahoman by Mr. Rob Neu. Mr. Neu is the superintendent of the Oklahoma City Public Schools, and he discussed some school choice legislation that's pending in Oklahoma, and he made the argument that policies like vouchers and education savings accounts are a bad idea because he said they could undermine public education. In one rather startling passage, Mr. Neu averred that, quote, "The greatest threat to public education in our state today isn't poverty. The greatest threat to Oklahoma public education is the people elected to represent Oklahomans and Oklahomans' children." Now, I'm not sure that's the best way to win friends and influence people, but nevertheless, I believe Mr. Neu is wrong because I think he has a mistaken view of what public education is. Now, in his view, public education is the current heavily unionized government monopoly wherein kids are bureaucratically assigned to schools based on where they live. Well, that may have been public education in the last century, but that's not public education today. Today, public education just means we want an educated public. And it doesn't matter where that education takes place. It could be a traditional public school, sure, but it could also be a public charter school, or it could be a private school, or it could be a homeschool, or any number of options. Indeed, Sooner Poll last month asked Oklahoma voters, if it were your decision and you could select any type of school, what type of school would you select in order to obtain the best education for your child? Well, in the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, 1 out of 3 people said they would choose a traditional public school, but 2 out of 3 said they would choose something else. Now, I suspect Mr. Neu is aware of this underwhelming demand for his product, which is why he doesn't want to see parents empowered with vouchers or tax credits. But should we really keep people trapped someplace that they don't want to be? I would suggest that Mr. Neu should take a lesson from another superintendent, Elizabeth Fagan, who's the superintendent of the Douglas County, Colorado School District, which is actually larger than Oklahoma City District. There, her school board actually enacted a private school voucher plan. And what did she do? Did she take to the newspapers to berate them? No. Here's what she said. As a superintendent, my goal is that every single child who lives in Douglas County receives an educational experience that provides the maximum opportunity for success. We know that you don't do that using a one-size-fits-all system. She says, if a parent truly believes, and they know their children well, if they truly believe that a school outside my district is going to be the school that offers the child the opportunity to maximize their full potential, I don't want to be in the way of that. I actually want to help them get there. Now that's one superintendent who understands that the system exists to serve the child. The child doesn't exist to serve the system. We could use more thinking like that in Oklahoma.